Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap. Welcome to the trap.
Let's go. Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Zen.
Trap.
Protect.
Yo, peace.
Protect your energy.
Oh man, boy, we are having had some grown-up conversations these days.
Yeah, we are.
Nah, but in the Lyft, I was telling the Lyft driver about the hybrid van. I want a hybrid van. I want it to be gas and electric. You know, in case the electric don't work all the way out. If we get in those dark times, I still can put some gas in the car.
True.
I want it to be a little tricked out, a little swaggy. You know.
Okay, tell me about it.
Some either like Tesla doors that go up.
But like butterfly doors.
Butterfly doors on the hybrid van coming down like a bat. You ain't never seen that before.
Never.
So I was just telling him about that. You can throw some rims on there if we wanted to. I think I even told Nicole about it on the porch.
I ever told you my brother got like his minivan kind of tricked out.
You might have, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds."
He gets custom suspensions, so he takes his car pretty much as soon as he gets them. So he took his minivan. He bought a brand new Honda Odyssey. Got custom suspensions. Probably spent like 15, 20 grand, something like that.
Or what else?
Not putting his business out there, but getting it custom where he can like drop it all the way to the ground. He got kits and stuff, so it's like kitted out. He got rims, low profile tires, all these things that make it look good, so he can drop it to where like the real wheel well is like sitting right over the tires, low to the ground, probably like an inch from the ground. He'll just do that, but he don't ride like that. Yeah, he don't ride like that often, like a low rider. So people be looking at it like, is that a car? What kind of car is that? Because it's so low, but it's a minivan.
I might need to holler at him.
He definitely he got big dogs, so if he ever put them in, he got like custom, like I don't know if they're custom, but like these Honda Odyssey chair covers. It's like you can take them off, wash them, like his car is always immaculate. So
I was telling Nicole I'm gonna get my joint icy white, and then she was like, "Oh no, what about like off white?" And I was like, "Ooh, I could do it like a little cream," but then I was like, "What if the tires is like the rims brown?" Now you got that cream and brown. She's like, "Oh, like a mocha, like a coffee." Yeah, like a coffee. And then what if you got like brown flames coming out from the bottom of it? She's like, "No, too much."
Now you like pimp my ride.
What if it's like that's exactly what she said. This ain't pimp my ride. What if it's got brown? What if it looks like it's dirty? It's brown specks on it.
Like it's muddy.
But it's not. And it's like icy white in the middle. But then when real dirt get on it too, now it's just a part of it. Now it's just driving art. And then you see them doors come up. Ooh, them doors. That thing clean. Want to do a little 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, let's do a 3, 2, 1.
All right. I don't think no context is needed again.
No, let's get it. 3, 2, 1.
Bat.
Boo. Say it again. What did you say?
I said bat.
Bat.
Like the animal. Not like a bat.
Oh, does it matter which one? I guess it does.
It probably does.
Bat and pool.
A bat and pool. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Dive. Cave
and dive.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Vacation.
Okay.
Bungee and vacation. All right, this is the last one. You ready? You looking at? I'm confused too.
Bungee and vacation.
You just chalk this one up.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
3, 2, 1.
Skydive. What else?
That's it.
That was the last round we could have got it to. I don't know how you got there either. I think I had to trek back between like cave diving. I wanted to say swimmer, like diver.
You know what the word I wanted to look for? What is it called? C-note?
What?
Cenote? It's a Mexican word.
I don't know what you talking.
You know what I'm talking about? It's the Mexican word where you jump in a pool of water in a cave or something. We've done it. I know we've done it somewhere. You basically like hold on to a little thing and jump in the cave water. It's called like cenote. I don't know.
I'm gonna just let you know if your ass would have said.
I wanted to so bad. I was like, that's
cenote.
I don't know what it's called. I need to look it up, but I think that's
Welcome back for another ZTP, Zen Trap Perspective. The mission here at the Zen Trap is to inspire and empower listeners to continuously seek internal peace to maximize their personal potential. I'm one of your two hosts, Zen P.
Yogi LG.
We got a great episode today. We're doing a book review. Yogi LG, why don't you let them know what we reviewed today?
All right, cool. So we got a book today. Another staying on topic with the topic of the month: emotions, emotional intelligence, all around the emotional wheel, everything emotions. So we talking about that this month. This book is called "Accepting Emotions: The Tips and Tricks, to understanding your emotions." This is by Myles Warner. It came out in 2021, so I was definitely looking for some updated information. I feel like emotional intelligence and everything around emotions has grown a lot in the past probably 10, 15 years. So I think finding a newer book with some newer kind of information was important to us. All right, P, let's get it started.
Man,
tell me how you feel like about this overall in general. What was the book talking about?
All right, so this was a great read. I'm glad we chose it, like you said, for the date being more up to date and current.
Yeah.
Super short read, to the point. I ain't gonna get into highly recommended and stuff yet, but this book, like the title says, is all about accepting your emotions for yourself and for other people.
Absolutely.
Those two things. And if I could use one of the biggest terms used throughout the book, and I think what we're going to talk about throughout this whole episode, especially if I have anything to do with it, is using the word validation.
Yeah.
Validating yourself and other
others.
People.
Yeah.
That is what this whole super short read is about. You could do this in an hour.
Easily.
An hour. You can listen to this audiobook or read this book probably in an hour and get these concepts down. I think this is a great place to start. That book in combination with this, I think would have your EQ, emotional intelligence, highly functioning, or whatever you want to call it. You are a very high emotionally intelligent person if you've listened to this book we're recommending today and you know what almost majority of the words mean on this wheel. What about you?
I think ultimately what he said, as well as like kind of describing some of those major emotions, how they feel, what you should expect kind of when you're experiencing those emotions, how to recognize that. One of the other big terms in the book was shadow work. So even talking about doing shadow work, it talks a little bit about that. But ultimately accepting your emotions, accepting the emotions of others, and then kind of how to move forward with those emotions. And this is a short read on purpose, I think. They're literally just trying to give you tips and tricks, like give you something quick, down and dirty. Like, hey, this is the highlights.
Quick hit. My favorite part is that what I usually complain about in a lot of books and things that we read or do is no examples. Real world examples. This has examples. It gives you situations.
And not a lot, drawn
just
out.
Enough.
Yeah.
Not drawn out. It's perfect, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah.
This situation could also be this, and this. These different ways. Perfect, sweet. You can draw your own conclusions from that.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah, all right. So any favorite bars, sections? Again, this is short, so you had a limited time, a little limited range to kind of grab what you needed, but it was definitely some stuff in there.
For me, myself, matter of fact, let me give you the exact name of this section because I can tell you the chapter. The chapters are listed out perfectly so that you can even click back on a section. I listened to How Do I Accept a Feeling While Disagreeing with It probably 4 times because I did not understand. I listened to that, no lie, 4 times after I was done.
You had to rewind it.
And the question, to be exact, that they say in there is, how do you validate something you don't agree with? Struggle.
Tell me about it. Like, go into it. What do you feel like you received from that?
I gotta listen for a 5th time.
Got one more time to listen.
Honestly, you know what I heard I will say something that rang consistently in the 4 times that I listened to it. What you said from the book that rang true to you, it don't matter if you believe it. You need to believe that it's true. Mm-hmm. It's true to them. And that's what they said in different terms. Mm-hmm. They said the same thing in different terms that it's true to them. What I still had like a little bit of gripe with, or just not even gripe, misalignment, misunderstandings.
There we go. I like that word.
I would almost open up a conversation about with you now. I'm going to lead you somewhere.
Okay.
Now we're talking about how to disagree with something and still validate it. How can you validate something you disagree with in another person? What does the word genuine mean to you?
I can give you synonyms. It's hard to give me a definition of genuine,
cool.
but
would you ultimately just say it's
authentic, true to oneself,
authentic, true to oneself,
character, being consistent.
How do you think you are able to teach someone to be genuine to themselves, to be genuine in their reactions or genuine in?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think, I don't know if this is the right plural form of this, but genuity, maybe that is, maybe not, is kind of something that can be, it's a skill. Like, I want you to really think about how you feel. I think that's what a lot of therapists kind of try to pull out of you is what are you really feeling? Let's talk about how it actually feels on the inside. And if you start responding in a way to what's true to how you're feeling, even to your therapist and then eventually to your friends and your family, it'll become natural when you're in a place. This is my genuine feeling and I'm going to express it. Now, you may learn how to filter that or, whatever you need
manipulate
to do.
it, whatever.
But yeah, I think you can develop that skill.
I completely agree with you.
Okay.
Can someone be genuinely fake?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Just because fake is not a part of being genuine in any way. Fake is just not a part of it. So you can't be like if you genuinely, intentionally try to be fake, that's different. Like I'm genuinely giving effort to not being genuine, then yes, I guess you can be. I guess when I say genuinely, then I'm really just saying honestly. You can honestly be trying to not be genuine, but it's not a genuine thing to not be who you are. That is like an oxymoron.
Okay, and I agree with you in the sense of being who you are, I guess. And what I read, and I'm gonna tie it all back. And what I read in this chapter, sometimes it felt like if you are saying, I know you're afraid and you're agreeing with somebody, but you don't truly agree with those feelings. You know what I'm gonna put it in a different way because I think I wrote a statement down. Okay. So me saying, let's say a situation has made you afraid that I may not be afraid in, but from what I know about you, yes, I can understand why you would be afraid in this situation. So one technique that they gave was like saying, you seem afraid, like me seeing that you seem a little afraid right now. You're acting kind of tense to me, but I don't really know this. This is kind of what I'm picking up. You seem afraid right now. I know I would be if I was you. I think some of the statements they put in here seemed as though somebody could take those as belittling and could think of you still making this person seem like a victim when you're talking to them. And I just still didn't relate with them. Like it didn't seem like much of a better approach. I think in one of them it was like, oh, like how you respond to your child. Like, oh, somebody took the red truck. I know that's really disappointing. Like, if somebody talks to me, I'm thinking again if I am feeling afraid, like on both sides, if I'm not or am, I'm feeling mad right now. And you're like, oh, Paris, are you mad right now? You look a little mad. Yeah. Yeah, but I think that comes into the part of validating your feelings. So I would go into the next section of what would be my kind of favorite section was talking about validating others. And what a key point of bar I took from that is like, you find that if you validate others, it's easier for you to validate your own feelings. Correct.
I think in the moment where somebody's like, hey, are you feeling mad? Like they're kind of like, maybe they're asking you or maybe they're validating you, but they're saying like, it's okay. And so you're kind of like, I don't want to be mad, so don't validate it. I think in the other section where it feels like it contradicts a little bit to me is that, to me, they talked about how you can validate without alienating. But to me, it seems like you're alienating while you're validating because I don't know, if you are being genuine, if you're saying, oh, I know you seem afraid. I know I would be afraid. Yeah. Would you really be afraid? Or you're saying, oh, if I was you, I would be afraid. It seems like those backhanded things of like, oh, I'm validating inside of you that although I don't like the shirt you're wearing, I love that shirt for you. I can see how much you love that shirt and I love that shirt for you. And that's genuine.
Genuinely fake.
I think, and if you describe it that way, that makes me feel genuinely fake. Then, because let's say for example,
well, I'm saying that's what's fucked up with me. That's why I have sometimes like if I do it that way, that ain't gonna come across. Would be genuinely fake, which is not. It's not right. and I'm learning to accept those emotions and process them. And that's why I had to listen to that chapter 5 times. Four. It's gonna be 5.
It's gonna be 5 because we're still working on it.
But that's what I kind of struggle with. Is just even the things that I appreciated that they recommended. I think in my community and what I've seen with people, if I were to speak that way, it still would come over in a great way. Yeah. But I do respect that. I still need to find a way to
do it in your own way.
Yes. And I think one line that I'm not gonna just say a one that I kind of had a gripe with without saying one that I agree with as well. One that I did agree with is them saying, let's say I know you lying to me about something.
Okay.
You coming to me about your feelings, but I know you lying. Because I've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't have to call you out on the lie.
Yep.
I can believe you. And they put a question in there to help you rethink about it, which is what I appreciated. So the question is, them lying right now shouldn't be the focus. Why they feel the need to lie to you should be what you should be thinking about. Why?
Ooh, that was powerful for me.
Feel like they need to lie to you about this situation. And the tough part you got to do is, while you're thinking about that, while they're telling you to lie, you can't be looking them in the face like, I know you lying.
You a liar.
That's what I'm talking about sometimes, where it's like you may look ingenuine in what you're receiving sometimes because you're in your head like, you lying right now.
Yeah, of course.
You giving off the energy of course. Lying. So that's what is needed to be able to combat it. You having the space to think about it and try and get back in those situations where I think if you have that forethought of like, oh, why do they feel like they have to lie to me? But to me, those people two people could get asked that same question, and their two faces, one could be sincerity and one could be like, you dumb looking, like from the same question, you know?
And even I think when you have those, I think in those moments where if like you lying to me about something, I'm having two feelings. One, I'm having like, ooh, I know you lying. And then it's two, it's like, why is he lying to me? But me personally, I focus on the why is he lying to me more because that's what matters to me. So I try to
but what I'm saying is, we both can be focused on the why is lying to me. It's just showing out in two different ways.
Yes.
Yours is showing through sincerity, and I'm on the other side of like, you don't have to lie to me, so why are we doing this right now? I'd rather you just say like, I don't want to talk about it, dude.
Yeah.
So
I think my focus is they feel like they got to lie to me, so I need to understand what I'm doing personally to get them to that place, and I immediately try to come softer. Like if somebody's lying to me in my face, I will immediately become more like receptive to everything they're saying. Like I want them to feel super safe. So even if they want to like tweak what they're saying into the truth, I can like allow them their space to kind of like just guide into the truth, right? Guide them to honesty.
I got PTSD. I'm not gonna lie. I got PTSD.
You can't do that?
No, I am fully capable of doing that. I think where we talk about this again, we having all this discussion from just a little hour of great tips and tricks.
Yeah, absolutely.
I found, and this again is my probably trauma PTSD thing and that's another section in the book that we can talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
If I allow somebody close to me to lie to me and feel okay with it, sometimes it does the opposite of what I'm trying to get them to do, which is I want them to feel safe with me. And sometimes if I'm not,
you don't call them out.
If I don't call them out in a way, whatever way that is, either with facial expressions or with conversation later or something else, with the softness as well, because I'm not saying that you should be rude ever. Yeah. Ever. There's no need ever to be rude. I've seen in examples in some people, even in my family or friends, that if you allow them to like do that, then they just get comfortable doing that, and then sometimes they just keep doing that and believe in the stuff they saying.
I mean, you got to know personnel here for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's personnel.
Applying that to everybody does not work for me.
For sure, I agree. That's not a blanket thing. There are certain people that lie to me, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I know you lying. I'm sick of you lying. I tried to create a safe space. Yes. I'm not going to do it no more. You guys stop lying to me."
And I guess I was more so doing that for both of us to have the conversation and for somebody else to just be clear that, like you said, sir, I think what made this stand out, and if I'm understanding you correctly, when it's happening in a friend that normally doesn't do it. Yeah. That's when it's like, okay.
I realize it's something happening.
It's either something with me or the situation, the topic, the trick. Something's different now, and I need to be softer. That is what I need.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay,
I agree.
Cool.
All right, cool. Is there something that you feel like you could share with
Wait, what was your favorite section?
Oh, that's what self-validation. We talked about it.
Did we?
Yeah, I jumped into it. I said like,
I don't know if we did enough of that because I feel like we just talked about my favorite section the whole time.
Validating others was a big part of my section too, again, because I said I feel like it made me, it kind of assured me or validated even my approach, that as you validate others' feelings, it becomes easier for you to validate your own. I will say I really enjoy him talking about like how it's not easy to validate your feelings in the moment. And so sometimes taking 10 seconds to kind of breathe before you respond or react. I've personally done that often. I am working on self-validating. That's a struggle for me. So that's something that I work on. Like, Lindsay, it's okay to feel this way. Receive that emotion, accept that emotion. It's based on how you respond. Like, you can have this and this is okay. It's completely normal. Just relax, breathe through it. This won't be your emotion forever. Like, this is just a moment in time, a cloud is going to pass. So I think that was a really good section for me, is talking about trying to basically accept your emotions, validate them for yourself, and then you feel okay to feel them. Like, it's not as much pressure to have that emotion if you're like, it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. I love that. I love that section. And again, that's what this whole book about is validation. It talks about earlier in the book. I know in other books and sections we talked about how your senses are tied to your emotions so much.
Sweating
I think that's what you was going to tell me earlier, that when you start feeling fear, your body gets like numb. So having salty snacks and stuff gives you more sensation. So that's kind of why when you're sad or scared, sometimes you want to have a sweet and salty snack or something. Just the science behind feelings and emotions.
Yeah. I even thought like one bar for me was talking about how sadness is one of the emotions that tends to linger. And I even thought that, like, as well as on these cards, I feel like some of the tougher emotions are some of the larger blocks. There's more verbiage for anger and sad than, some other ones. But that's just something I've noticed. Ultimately, I think these 6 emotions that kind of started this wheel, he described all of these in the book. I thought what was super interesting was, one, sadness lingers, and also surprise is one of those things that could go either way. Surprise is close to fear and happy. So it's in the middle of those two emotions, and they could literally be split down the middle. You can be surprised in a joyful way. Like, even on here, it's like surprise goes to excited, amazed, or confused and startled. And goes to like perplexed, and then like energetic. You know what I'm saying?
Surprise, I'm having a birthday party. My friends I ain't seen in 10 plus years are here. Surprise, it's a line in my bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. It could be surprise, somebody's cheating. Like, it could be anything. Surprise, like anything. You could just be in shock. My house burned up, or the kitchen's on fire, whatever.
All right, what is something you would share with your loved ones from this book?
Ooh, things I would share with my loved ones from this book. I think that I wrote something down, shadow work. So, shadow work for me.
What is shadow work?
Okay, so that's a good question. I think they have a great definition in the book. So again, I recommend you go read it, get that definition. But to me, in my own words, shadow work is literally looking inside of yourself for reasons on why you respond to certain things, how you respond to certain things. It is looking at your reflection emotionally. So it is taking the time to be a mirror for yourself. So he talks about, like, sometimes meditation and sitting in silence are not the same thing, or period, they're not the same thing. And sometimes you need to meditate to kind of get your mind in a certain place. And sometimes you need to do shadow work in silence, which means just sitting in silence and thinking about what comes to your mind, like seeing what comes to your mind, and then thinking about, like, let's dive deeper into that. Why is that on my heart right now? Why is that on my mind? What does that sound familiar to? What does that feel like? Do I remember this feeling from a previous time in my life? How did that impact me? Like, going down that line, and that's weeks, months, sometimes years of shadow work to understand how the things in your past have impacted you. And it says something so powerful that I was like, dang, my family need this. Even things of like saying, like, if you were told as a child that you weren't helping enough around the house, and like you were lazy and that you weren't pulling your weight, like, and now you clean up all the time and you feel like you got to be the only one to clean up, and like you can't, it's like you can't keep the house clean enough. You can't. And I was like, oh my God, I remember that feeling. That was like mind breaking to me. Like, oh my God, like, dang, that's crazy that I remember my mama being like, Lindsay, you don't like you
ain't
don't
up
carry your
past
weight. All you
9.
gotta do is keep the common areas clean. Da 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 da. Like you need to. I pay all these bills, and all you gotta do is keep your room clean in the common area. It was constantly, and maybe I was just lazy back then. But I know
both
I
things
ain't.
could be true, but it don't.
It's trauma like that.
Oh, for sure.
It's just a traumatic thing when I think about like how I try to clean my house now. So that's enlightening. So definitely doing shadow work and really thinking about why you respond the way you do, why things are your triggers, being able to distinguish what are triggers from just trauma. It's good stuff. What about you? What are some of your loved ones can use from this?
I would say the same. The same. I would recommend a exact similar technique. Recognize you're good at recognizing traits that. I'm gonna put it this way. Matter of fact, you can pick which side you want to do. Recognize the traits you like and dislike in other people, not just the ones you dislike or like, both. So when you're looking for mentors and people to follow and stuff like that, or things you like about people, I think that's a lot easier to do. To be like, I like this person's personality, this person's I don't know, loving,
How they respond.
yeah, how
their
they
character.
joke, how they
Yeah.
find the stuff you dislike and don't just leave it as, oh, I dislike that. Figure out why you dislike that. Is it because of something that you went through, or is it just because you find it to be? It's never usually really what you think it is. It's never really just because you think this is rude in general. It does usually go back to something like Yogi LG is saying, where maybe when you were younger, every time you spoke up about somebody's shoes being dirty, your mama popped you or something. It's usually something more than you think it is. So really figuring out when you see what are your triggers in other people that you dislike, so that now you have that space to really validate it in yourself that it's okay to dislike that. Now you can choose how you react to it.
Right.
This whole video is about choosing to validate your emotions so that you're able to formulate a reaction to it that you choose that still aligns with your morals and values, so you're not going ghost and acting out and just doing things and just saying, I don't know why I did it, but
I don't know why that happened. Yeah.
It happened and it's okay. I think it's not that it's weird. When you're going around and validating after the fact, that's when what we're talking about next month all comes into play. When you're trying to make friends and connect with people and you're just going around and you're not self-validating yourself.
Exactly.
Did you find something in the book that I could grow from?
Yeah, I got some. I think
on this one.
Honestly, I think I want to point out something that you do good at currently that I think is good.
That means the bag gonna be real bad.
No. I think
I'm joking.
You self-validate very well, my personal opinion.
Thank you.
I think you understand, like, when you're feeling something, you allow yourself the space to feel it. He has a sad playlist. If he gets sad,
love it. Fire too.
It is fire. Fire for sure. I made one for myself, inspired by you. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's oldies to now. Yeah. Hey, I ain't really added to it in a minute.
Inspired by you for sure.
Emotional music. Sorry.
No, that's good. So I would say that's a really good thing that you do, is just validate those emotions, and you also don't sit in them. Even if your sadness does linger, you kind of embrace that and realize, like, hey, this too shall pass. And I think as a man, they were even saying in the book, like, men tend to not feel their emotions as much. Not only do you feel them, but you validate them for yourself. So that is amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, really good. If I would say something to grow from, I think you kind of already hit on it. Validating the emotions of others. Again, not that you don't validate the emotions of others, but just kind of that concept of believing it and that feeling. So I think you say, like, you will verbally say very easily, like, and meaningful and genuine, that, hey, like, dang, I hate that you feel that way. It's typically like not a but like and I want you to do this. And it's almost like sometimes that takes away from you just believing.
No solution is
needed. Just sometimes. And sometimes I think people come to you because you are solution based. So they want to hear those solutions.
I can wait for the solution.
Yeah, exactly. So just believing and validating that feeling in that person when they come into you. For sure.
All right. So Law and Order, believe the victims.
Exactly. They always go with the victims, for sure.
It's normal to be a victim. I'm playing. I'm joking.
Hey, is that something I can grow from?
I'm just joking. All right, one, I appreciate that. I received that. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna grow from that. I'm working on that.
There you go.
I'm gonna listen for a fifth time. Thank you. I like what you did. It feels good to get a compliment. I like to throw some gas back.
Okay.
I think like you said, your chapter that you seen was your favorite. Validating others, you do amazing.
Yeah.
I would say because you do that so amazingly, I almost found it hard to believe what they say in the book because I think you said you agree that you struggle with validating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So because I see somebody like you who is so extraordinary with validating others, and I think I tell you this all the time, what Lindsay needs to do is talk to Lindsay and take Lindsay's advice and she'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
The book says when you validate others, it's easy to usually validate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I see you struggle with it all the time. And I'm like, this is horseshit. Like this isn't.
Well, I mean, I think it gets better. Like once you get the freedom to do that, like I've put myself in and I'm not saying this is great advice. I agree, I need it.
Oh, it's not advice. I ain't even got to the advice yet. I'm just making an acknowledgement that I didn't really believe it in the book when they said it.
Yeah, no, I think it's something you
there's
other limiting factors.
With.
There's other limiting factors. Just because I put myself in a space of making sure that I validate others for other trauma responses.
That is you saying why you do it so well is a trauma response.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, for sure.
You just make me sad.
I mean, if I'm to be honest and even
like
vulnerable here,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, yep, I think even growing up as the only child, like I started thinking about that.
I've known that. It's like it's what helps you feel safe. Validating others helps you feel safe.
Yeah. Shit get deep, you know what I'm saying? Shit get deep.
I'm believing the victim of
You struggling?
Like, is this the time to give you advice?
I guess what I'm saying is like I think me growing up kind of like an only child, I noticed that validating others' feelings makes them feel safe and they want to be around more. And I wanted people around.
That's not helping.
I'm just saying.
That's making it sadder. Like,
it's sadder.
I want you to stay around, so that's why I want you to feel safe. Because if you don't feel safe, you're going to leave. That's sad. But that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real. Dang. I don't know what advice. Man, you keep validating. Man, you ain't got to validate nobody. Fuck these people. Who want to be around, gonna be around.
That's true.
I think that's the other side.
And I get to that. I have moments where I feel confident in that, and then there's moments where I don't. So I know it's still an ongoing battle and struggle.
So let me make sure I keep it to this to the title and not just in life in general. Have you ever done shadow work?
Yeah. Have I ever done shadow work?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I do
it all the time.
Written it down?
Typically no. I
don't think you. And now I feel like I'm throwing stuff at a wall, but this is. I think I've also recommended this before. And this is my only recommend. I'm sure I have with other stuff. I think the moment you start writing stuff down as a different method of release will be a new journey for you. I think you've tried.
Can I have an honest moment with you?
Yeah.
I think I run from writing. Just on some like black shit, like reading and writing has just never been.
No, don't put it on nigga shit.
I promise you, dog. It is an excuse. What I'm saying is, gonna sound like even right now, my immediate thought was, man, I could just voice note it. Like you should just voice note it. And I'm like, why are you running from writing? It's weird.
Let me show you something. I want to keep talking about this.
Keep talking about what?
Being scared to work.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, it is like a I ain't gonna say it's a black thing, but like it is. My mom used to say to me, "I might as well hide this $5 in a book."
That's a very common sense.
Yeah,
I just bought this. Okay. I want to go back to writing about just once I started writing as well because I haven't been writing in so long. I've almost even stopped taking notes at work like that when I can just type them.
Yep.
We read a book about learning and engaging your brain and stuff. Going back to the manual way of some things of like reading and writing is the best exercise for your brain and stuff. I hadn't written in so long. My handwriting is already bad. It's like a doctor's handwriting, but it's gotten almost worse. It don't feel comfortable or normal sometimes writing. Yep. So now just getting back to that. So what I recommend to you, I'm putting it in practice as well. It's not even about what you're writing sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's just the practice of writing. That helps with the acceptance of just letting it go. You're not thinking about it. It's in paper. But the biggest part, and I think from the past times that you are a good reader and writer. You are an exceptionally well reader and writer of words. And I think, like you just said, the trauma of being around people who don't embrace reading and writing has made us both, or our people a lot of times in general, not want to do it.
Yeah.
And you still have to fight that urge. And the only way to get against it is to do it. And not to do it like once or twice, but to do it for a considered amount of time. I think even in the book, when one of the techniques doesn't work after the first time, you just be like, all right, well, it didn't work. No, you need to do it for a good amount of time. So again, I think that the practice of writing and being able to go back and read how you used to think is powerful. Yeah. And you only have the ability to do that
if you write it down.
If you write it down. So I am now trying to go back, and I challenge you. I
accept the challenge.
I challenge you to do the same.
I accept the challenge.
To start.
I gotta
start little. Start little and build up. I think in my head too. I get nervous even thinking about writing. I'm thinking like I have to write a page or something. Like no, don't put a limit like, on you don't have to put write just 3 words. Yeah. I am happy today. Good night. Done. Yeah. You'll start. Once you start, it's just a book we read too about starting. Mm-hmm. Once you start, you'll end up like, man, you know what? I do feel this.
Man, if I think about it, I do a lot of shadow work in the car. That's if you've ever ridden with me, I ride in silence often. Do a lot of shadow work there just because I know it's silent, but I'm not in a meditative space, but I have space to kind of think about what's coming to my mind while I'm just driving.
That'll be a very interesting topic for what we talk about next month. I'm super excited about next month.
Absolutely.
Going into talking about shadow work, I think me personally, I've done shadow work my whole life and not knowing what it's called. I've just been calling it self-regulation or assessments. Examine is a big word in this book. Just examining interactions, social interactions with people. Yep. Like, why did they react this way to like what am I doing? And again, it could be traumas from us both trying to be genuinely fake and fit in. Who knows? Who knows? Or maybe we are elitists and we looking around like, how can we infiltrate this little dumb society? You just don't know which angle the person is coming at. 48 laws of power trying to creep in. Either way, all of this is going to go into next month about social interaction, our community need to build community and connection, which Lindsay loves to talk about. Absolutely. So it's going to be a great month. You got any last words for the people on Wheels of Emotion? Why this has been so important? We could do a whole nother month on this.
Honestly, this is good. We can just, this is good.
I think this should be a reoccurring segment where we talk about, hey, name emotion.
Yes, I was going to recommend like doing it with some of your friends. You in a small friend group, you and the girls, you and the fellas, having chill time, whoever, grabbing a word off this wheel and being like, hey, when's the last time you felt this emotion? And just trying to become more aware of what emotions feel like. Great conversation. Yeah, that's a great conversation starter.
Ask your mama.
Yeah, ask your mama.
Ask your parents. Your
auntie, somebody that you close with, you care about. I think even this weekend we had somebody say to us like, hey, thank you for just listening to me. Hey, yeah, some people don't get that where people are just
some emotional terrorists, yo. We are emotional terrorists in our friend group. Don't come around. I feel like she probably hadn't said that to like nobody in so long doing it. We are emotional terrorists, yo.
I would call us terrorists.
We are terrorists. All right. We are emotional warriors.
Energy regulators, call us sage. We cleanse the space.
I hope you feel safe around us.
No, that's the goal though. Any last words for you?
No, excited about next month. Excited about what we're going to learn. Excited to continue doing this. I appreciate growing and learning.
Absolutely.
Always can learn and grow. I think when we was talking about, be careful when you ask your parents, if you come from country families like us, if you ask your auntie, mama, or grandma or something, like, when the last time you felt regret? Having this conversation right now.
they can't come back quick. They ready.
They quick shooters in the country now, so...
Especially when it comes to dodging emotions.
They have to fight through some layers and validate some stuff. You need to come with your energy up. If you come, don't come already low because they'll get you. I don't got nothing.
All right. Well, this has been another Zen Trap Perspective. I'm one of your two hosts, Yogi LG.
Zen P. And if you can't do nothing else, make sure you protect your peace.
And protect your energy.
It's the Zen Trap. New merch.
Subscribe, all that.
New merch.
Protect
your peace.
Protect your energy.